All right, we're at halftime now of the Tigers game at the Route 66 shootout in Waynesville. They are playing Hazelwood Central, the number 3 team in Class 5. Republic, of course, ranked number 1 in Class 4, and the Tigers have the best of it so far. 38-24, they lead over the Hawks of Hazelwood Central. It's been a great start for the Tigers. Let's go over scoring in the first half. First for the Tigers, Dylan Beckemeyer had 5 points. Brock Yoakum had 5. Chase Hoffman with 1 point. Canyon Smith had 9. Jordan Kerr had 3, all at the free throw line. And Cody Geiger had 15 points in the first half for Republic. And he led all scorers in the first half. Going to do some checking here and make sure I'm still connected. So if I go silent, that's why. About 2.5 minutes before the second half begins. All right, it sounds to me like I'm connected, so if you're having trouble hearing things at any point down the road, if you've got my phone number, feel free to text me. I got my phone sitting here for emergencies in case the connection goes down and I don't notice it. Scoring for Hazelwood Central, Coron Gooch had 5, Clifton Yancey had 4, Steve Holloway had 4, Marcus George had 2, and Dominic Dobbs had 2. And their leading scorer, DeMarco Buchanan, averaging nearly 20 a game, had 7 points in the first half for the Hawks. So Buchanan leading scorer for the Hawks, and Cody Geiger with 15 leading the Tigers. I think Geiger's first quarter three-pointer did wonders to draw out that defense, and the Hawks feel like they've got to cover Geiger wherever he goes on the court now, and that's freed him up and has unclogged that lane for the Tigers, and I think that's been important for Republic because they're facing a much bigger lineup. Again, 6'5", 6'5", 6'6", across the front line for the Hawks. And so to have that lane open and not clogged up has made a difference for the Tiger offense in half court. Teams in the huddle as they go over final preparation for the second half. And the Tigers leading by 14, 38-24. All right, here we go. Second half just about to begin, and the Hawks have it to start things off, trailing by 14 in the Route 66 shootout. They have it near the far sideline. That's DeMarco Buchanan. Buchanan gives it up, gets it back, drives down the left side of the lane, goes in the corner to Steve Holloway. Holloway out to the top of the key to Buchanan, and the three-pointer is wild, but a battle for the rebound and a loose ball picked up by the Hawks. And now driving inside, a charging foul called against Clifton Yancey. There were a couple of Tigers set up there just inside the free throw line, and Yancey didn't pay any attention. He's tried to run over him, and it didn't work. Well, it worked, but he got called for a foul. Tigers have it, leading by 14. Beckemeyer across half court, guarded by Holloway. Goes far side to Chase Hoffman. Back to Yoakum. Yoakum down inside to Cody Geiger. Hook shot off the glass, no good. Picked up by Hoffman, though. Out to Beckemeyer. Three-pointer away. Goes down. Dylan Beckemeyer hits a three. And it's 41-24 Tigers. Dominic Dobbs hands it off to Holloway. Holloway in front of the Hawks bench, guarded by Smith, and throws it away. Tried to hit Dobbs, but Dobbs cut right before the pass. And 1 minute into the third quarter, the Tigers continuing their winning ways, leading by 17, and they've got the ball. Dylan Beckemeyer guarded by Holloway across half court to Yoakum. Yoakum drives baseline, spins around, gets it to Smith. Three-pointer rattles around and won't go. And a rebound by Dominic Dobbs. Hands it off, and now a long pass as they tried to beat the defense is stolen away by Geiger. They tried to hit Marcus George down low with a lob, but Geiger saw it coming, reached up, grabbed it out of the air with one hand. Now a Beckemeyer spin move at the top of the key. Goes around his man, lays it off the glass and in. 5 in the third quarter for Dylan Beckemeyer, and it's a 19-point lead for the Tigers. The Hawks dump it down low, and it's almost out of bounds, and now it is out of bounds. And the Hawks look lost out there against the Tiger defense. And Josh Martin wants a timeout. 6:13 left to go in the third quarter. 43-24 Tigers. Back with more in a minute. Well, this couldn't be going much better for Republic. They lead by 19 over Hazelwood Central. And this is one of those games that even the coaching staff didn't know what to expect. You don't see a team from this far away very often. They're a highly regarded team. They've started the season well. They've got a huge lineup, much bigger than the Tigers, but the Tigers have outquicked them and outplayed them and have dominated this one since the beginning, and they lead it 43-24. Tigers are back on the court. They're ready to go again, and the Hawks are just now coming out of the huddle. Tigers don't want to break their momentum. And they've got the ball, leading by 19, trying to push it to 20 for the first time. Beckemeyer, guarded by DeMarco Buchanan, gives it up in the corner to Geiger. Geiger has to jump to save it. Spins around and gets it to Yoakum. Yoakum in front of the Tiger bench, loses the handle, picks it up, maintains the dribble, goes to Geiger in the corner. Geiger guarded closely by Marcus George, and he's fouled. Geiger put it on the floor, started to go around George, and George grabbed him. First foul on Marcus George, second team foul on Hazelwood Central, and a bounce pass inside to Cody Geiger is knocked out of bounds by the Hawks. It'll stay with the Republic. Beckemeyer tried to hit Geiger as he cut to the basket. And a little pushing inside, not so much pushing as leaning, as Cody Geiger was leaning into George, who's guarding him. George has his hands straight in the air. I really do think that Geiger was the one who was initiating that contact, and the official tells him to separate. Now inbounding is Beckemeyer, and they get it back to Beckemeyer just inside the arc. The shot is no good, but the rebound by Geiger is good. Geiger, another hook shot, his first points of the half, and he's got 17, and it's a 21-point lead with 5.5 left to go. And now inside, a foul called against the Hawks, as there was more jostling inside between Geiger and Marcus George, and George is called for the foul. And Geiger is frustrating George, and Marcus George is going to have a seat on the bench, and he'll be replaced by Xavier Sneed. And again, the Hawks look lost against Republic. Yoakum inbounds to Geiger. Full court pressure now by the Hawks. Yoakum, they break it, get it across to Smith across half court. Hoffman on the baseline, back to Smith, wide open. Yoakum rattles around, won't go. Geiger had it briefly, had it knocked away, and now the Hawks come the other direction. Eddie White drives, splits defenders, floats it off the fingertips and in. Eddie White with his first points of the night, and it's down to a 19-point lead for Republic. Beckemeyer, between the legs dribble, guarded by Eddie White, gives it up to Smith and out of bounds off Smith's fingertips and back to the Hawks. Beckemeyer tried to give it to Smith. The ball was deflected, I think, on the way to Smith, and then Smith knocked it on out of bounds off his fingertips. Hawks give it to Yancey inside. Floating left-hander is no good. And the trash picked up by Xavier Sneed. Puts it off the glass and in. Republic had the ball very briefly there, but couldn't hang on to it. And Sneed gets the points. Geiger has it for the Tigers, top of the key. Goes around Sneed, pulls up the dribble, gets it back out to Yoakum, and then to Beckemeyer between the circles. To Yoakum in front of the Tiger bench. Hoffman has it, top of the key, comes near side to Beckemeyer. Beckemeyer to Smith. Smith, pump fake, goes around his man. Floater inside the free throw line is good. Canyon Smith with a nice move. And he hits the two-pointer instead of the three-pointer that time. He's got 11. Top of the key, Xavier Sneed. They go far side to Coron Gooch. Gooch dribbles it near side to Yancey. Yancey bounce pass back to Gooch. Gooch into the free throw line, or rather that's Buchanan. Buchanan, nice move as he gets his man in the air and hits the jumper from the free throw line. And it's a 17-point lead for the Tigers. Beckemeyer crosses half court, gives it to Yoakum. They swing it now near side to Beckemeyer. Looks for Hoffman inside. Hits a cutting Smith. Smith steps inside the three-point arc. Launches a jumper, no good. A rebound to the Hawks. Here comes Eddie White. White down the left side of the lane. Across the lane. Nice pass to Gooch off the glass and in. Down to a 15-point lead for Republic. And now a timeout called by Trevor Fisher. Fisher trying to stem the momentum that the Hawks have as they cut the lead to 15. It was 21 just a minute ago. 3:31 left to go in the third quarter. Tigers lead it 47-32 over Hazelwood Central.
At the conclusion of each game, the athletes are being fed by Noble Chevrolet of Whitesville, Mid-Missouri Motors of St. Robert, and the Military Police Regiment, Fort Leonard. Seagull and Clovers of St. Robert. We put our hearts and souls in every field. From Midwest Race, Beef, Dairy Critters, in Wisconsin, we can only the finest, most local ingredients. Cook the order and serve with a smile. Just like we would if we had to come to their own kitchen. Just like we had serving our first kids nearly 30 years ago. Come see us in St. Louis.
Well, it feels like Hazelwood Central has all the momentum, and I guess maybe they do, but the Tigers have still outscored Hazelwood Central 9-8 here in the third quarter. And they lead it 47-32. And we'll have the ball when we return to action against full court pressure from the Hawks. Beckemeyer with 5 in this quarter and 2 each for Canyon Smith and Cody Geiger. Tigers inbound to Beckemeyer, and the press backs off, and here he comes, guarded by Eddie White. Goes around, White pulls it up inside the lane, nice crossover dribble, and misses the shot. Had defensive pressure on him, and Eddie White pulls down the rebound. Here come the Hawks trying to cut into a 15-point lead. They come near side to Gooch, launches a three, no good. Ball tipped up by the Hawks, no good on the follow by Sneed, and Geiger comes away with the rebound. They get it to Beckemeyer, and he walks it up. Down to 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Beckemeyer around a pick from Geiger, down to Hoffman on the baseline, near side. Hoffman puts it on the floor, dribbles it back up top, picks up the dribble, goes to Geiger at the top of the key. Geiger dribbles inside the free throw line, loses his balance, and now the shot blocked by Sneed, and they're going to call a held ball, and it'll stay with the Tigers. Good defense by Sneed that time. He didn't give any ground, and when Geiger tried to put up the shot, he just put his hand on it and forced the held ball. So next time, the possession arrow will point to Hazelwood Central. Beckemeyer has it, goes in front of the Tiger bench to Hoffman. Back to Yoakum, to Geiger. Back to Hoffman, beyond the arc. Picks it up now at the free throw line and goes to Geiger, or rather to Beckemeyer, and they'll reset the offense. 2:25 left to go on the third. Geiger sets a pick for Beckemeyer, gives it up to Yoakum. Yoakum, top of the key, goes to Hoffman. Hoffman on the floor, back to Beckemeyer. Beckemeyer, open at the top of the key, dribbles down the right side of the lane, gives it up to Geiger. Geiger is smothered by defense, and now a foul called on the Hawks. And that was good defense by the Hawks, but maybe one of them reached in. Hazelwood Central has done a much better job on Geiger here in this second half. He's only scored 2 points. Inbound pass to Hoffman. Hoffman off the glass and in. Hoffman broke from the free throw line toward the bucket. And he's got 3 points, 2 in this quarter. Back to a 17-point lead, and now driving the baseline at the other end is Eddie White. White was left open in the corner and just took it to the hoop. Quickly the other way. Geiger on a pass from Beckemeyer. Now pulls it back out and slows things down. 1:46 left to go in the third. 15-point lead for Republic. Hoffman loses the handle. Back to Yoakum. Picks it up. Bounce pass to Hoffman. Drives inside. Floater off the glass. No good. And the rebound to the Hawks. Hoffman had a chance but couldn't get the shot to go. Eddie White feeling it. Drives the baseline again. Misses the shot. And now Beckemeyer out to Hoffman. Hoffman one-on-one. Puts it off the glass. No good, but he's fouled. Hoffman was out ahead of the defense. The Hawks closed ranks on him and caught up, forced a wild shot, but he's going to go to the line. Hoffman, the 6'1 senior forward, working on a three-point night, tries to extend a 15-point lead for the Tigers with 1:21 left to go in the third. First shot is up and good. (50-34). The Tigers leading by 16. And still 16 is the next free throw from Hoffman is no good. Off the back iron, here come the Hawks. Clifton Yancey has it, goes far side to Buchanan, or rather to Steve Holloway. Holloway picks it up, goes to Eddie White. White to Gooch. Gooch far side to Holloway, down in the corner, three-pointer away and good, and that was, I believe, Marcus George. Nope, Xavier Sneed. And now, I believe a foul is called away from the ball, and the Hawks will get it back. I guess they're going to say that Brock Yoakum committed a foul there. At the same time, the shot was in the air, and so the Hawks get the ball and the points. Trailing by 13 and a chance to get it down to 10 with a three-pointer here. 54 seconds left to go, and now the ball stolen away by Yoakum. Knocked away, Smith picks it up, loses a handle, and Beckemeyer gets it. 46 seconds left to go now. And Beckemeyer has it. The Tigers will try to hold it for one shot. Yoakum, guarded by DeMarco Buchanan, gives it to Beckemeyer between the circles. Comes near side to Smith. Smith puts it on the floor, goes toward Yoakum, passes it off. Yoakum almost has the ball stolen away, but maintains possession, tries to pass it to Smith, and it's knocked out of bounds by Buchanan. Tigers will keep it. 28 seconds left to go. Brock Yoakum to trigger the inbound right in front of his own bench. Ball above the head, bounces it into Geiger, and a bump from behind on Xavier Sneed. Sneed can't believe it, but he almost sent Geiger flying out of bounds. And that's his fourth. They've really been bodying up on Geiger, and it's made a difference, but still trailing by 13 are the Hawks. And that time they're caught for a foul, and now another foul called against the Hawks as Kenyon Smith caught the inbound pass, and Quoron Gooch commits the foul. And the Hawks have picked up the defensive intensity, but it's resulted in a ton of fouls, and the Tigers already in the bonus, 17 fouls against the Hawks. And now Gooch is going to have to check out, or rather that's Jordan Croft checking out. And checking in his place is Steve Holloway. First free throw by Smith is up and good. Smith has 12 on the night now. Spins the free throw, sends it on its way, and it's good. And the lead is 15 again, 52-37. The Hawks now will probably hold it for one shot. Hazelwood Central has the smallest numbers on the front of their jerseys I think I've ever seen. And my eyesight's not that good, so it's hard to tell who's who down there sometimes unless they turn their back where I can see the bigger number. They're holding it outside. 5 seconds left, and they still haven't started anything. And now they just launch a wild three. It's off the back iron. Dylan Ramsey with the rebound, and not a great possession to end the quarter by the Hawks. They didn't try anything until Buchanan looked up, realized there were 6 seconds left, did a little crossover dribble and launched a three, and it was no good. And so we come to the end of the third quarter, and the Tigers lead Hazelwood Central 52-37. Back with more in a minute.
On the East, your hosts, Waynesville Tigers.
Well, you never know how anybody's going to play on any given night, and who knows how Hazelwood Central is playing compared to what they will play on an average night. Same with Republic, but I would have to say there are some Central Ozark Conference teams that are going to look at this score and wonder what they're going to be facing when they see the Tigers. The Tigers are right now blowing out Hazelwood Central, a much bigger lineup that's highly regarded statewide, leading by 15. And the Hawks have the ball facing the Tiger defense, trying to cut into it as we start the fourth quarter. And now a massive block by Cody Geiger down low as Eddie White tried to drive the baseline again. Geiger came from behind and swatted it out of bounds. The Hawks maintain possession. They get it in to Marcus George, and George goes to Eddie White to Buchanan. Buchanan drives on Beckemeyer, and Beckemeyer reaches in and is called for a foul. Beckemeyer knocked the ball away, but got a little bit of the hand. And so the Hawks will throw it inbound right at the bucket. They say it was not a shooting foul. Third foul on Beckemeyer. Hawks lob it into the top of the key and quickly swing it down to Buchanan in the corner, guarded by Dylan Ramsey, as the Tigers are in a zone defense now. Ramsey comes out. And now they find the seam in the middle of the zone. They go down to George on the baseline. He bounces it out in the corner, and then they come to Eddie White, top of the key, and they have to reset. Buchanan now dribbles into the free throw line, goes to White, and back to Buchanan. Buchanan drives on Brock Yoakum. Shot is up, no good, and the rebound goes to Cody Geiger. Gets it off to Brock Yoakum. Down under 7 minutes left to go in the game. Tigers leading by 15. Dylan Beckemeyer between the circles, goes around his man Buchanan, launches it inside the lane. It rolls around and won't go down, and the Hawks get the rebound. Nice move by Beckemeyer, but just couldn't get the shot to fall. Quaron Gooch swings it around quickly. They go to Marcus George, and then to Quaron Gooch again. Back near side, three-pointer away by Eddie White is no good, and Beckemeyer pulls down the rebound. 6:24 left to go. Gets it out to Yoakum. Yoakum unguarded, goes to Smith. Inside the three-point arc, comes to the free throw line. Jumper is up, no good. And a foul called against Dylan Ramsey on the rebound as Marcus George grabbed the rebound and got a little shove with the body from Dylan Ramsey. And neither team has scored here in the fourth quarter. We're nearly 2 minutes in. I guess that's okay with the Tigers leading by 15. The Hawks have it, and they come to Xavier Sneed. Sneed goes between the circles to Steve Holloway. Holloway at the free throw line. They dish it down to Buchanan on the baseline. The shot rolls around and goes. Buchanan left open on the baseline, and he has 11 on the night. And here come the Tigers leading by 13. Beckemeyer has it between the circles, directs traffic, guarded by Buchanan. Dribbles in and then backs it out, bounces it to Geiger beyond the three-point arc. Right side, Geiger goes inside, finds Beckemeyer at the arc and launches a three, and it's good. Beckemeyer hits the three and extends the lead to 16. Just like that. And the Hawks can't get any momentum, but they get a bullet pass down inside to Marcus George. Nice look from Buchanan. George was left open on the baseline and put it up and in. 55-41 Tigers. Geiger down the right side of the lane. Jump stop. No good. Battle for the rebound. Pulled down by Xavier Sneed. Here come the Hawks. They look to run. Across half court comes Steve Holloway. Right down the left side of the lane. Bounces around and goes down. And a timeout called by the Hawks. Holloway has 6 on the night. The lead is down to 12, and Hazelwood Central calls timeout. 4:55 left to go in the game. The Tigers holding on to a 12-point lead, 55-43.
Go this way.
Here we go, back to action. The Tigers have it. Hoffman has it on the baseline. Shot fake, gives it up to Beckemeyer. Beckemeyer goes inside to Geiger, and he's blocked, but a foul called inside with the body on the Hawks. Geiger was left open. And we'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Marcus George commits his 3rd foul. Geiger puts the first one up and in. Geiger has 18. And it's a 13-point lead for Republic. Next one is up and good. Great night for Cody Geiger against a much bigger lineup inside. And the Hawks will try to cut into a 14-point lead. Far side along the sideline. They come near side now to Steve Holloway. Holloway goes to the free throw line, dishes to Croft. Croft puts a floater up and in over the glass. Or rather, that was Buchanan, not Croft. Nice move by Buchanan. Cuts the lead back down to 12. 4:20 left to go. Across the timeline come the Tigers. Brock Yoakum has it. Near side, near the hash mark, to Geiger at the free throw line. Spreading out the defense. Nice bounce pass. No-look pass by Geiger. By Beckemeyer to Geiger, and then the ball lost. And now the ball lost at the other end by the Hawks, and Hoffman picks it up. Hoffman has it, gives it to Geiger. Down under 4 minutes left to go. And a little bit out of control, and now Trevor Fisher wants to call timeout to calm his guys down. 3:56 left to go here in the 4th quarter. The Tigers leading 57-45. Cody Geiger has 19 points, and Kenyon Smith has 13 for the Tigers. 13 for Dylan Beckemeyer, as the Tigers have a 12-point lead here. And again, the defensive pressure stepped up a little bit, but the Tigers are just going to have to hit their free throws down the stretch, leading by 12 with under 4 to go. If they do that and hang on to the ball, they are in good shape. Yoakum to inbound in front of the Tiger bench. Looks, lobs it into Kenyon Smith. Smith skies for it in the backcourt, and now picks it up and goes to Yoakum. Yoakum, double teamed out near half court, gives it up and throws it away. Clifton Yancey grabbed it, dishes off to Buchanan. Layup is up and good off the glass. Well, that was Holloway that time, not Buchanan. These small numbers on the jerseys are killing me. 57, or rather 57-47, 10-point lead, and now a traveling call against Brock Yoakum. Is the same thing happened in the first half. Turned around and saw a defender there and took an extra step. So a chance to cut the lead to single digits for the first time since very early for the Hawks. Three-pointer is up and no good, and the ball bounds over the backboard and will go back to the Tigers. That was Xavier Sneed who took the three. 3:25 left to go. Tigers with a 10-point lead. And the inbound to Beckemeyer. Splits the double team quickly across half court, gets it to Kenyon Smith. Smith to Yoakum. Tigers have got to do a better job of handling the pressure from the guards in the backcourt. And now a blocking foul called on Xavier Sneed, and I think that's going to be 5 on him. Sneed was part of a double team, and as Yoakum tried to go around him, he stuck his knee out and tripped up Yoakum, and Yoakum's going to go shoot free throws. And that is the 9th or 10th foul on Waynesville, depending on whether the scoreboard is updated yet. I think that's 9, so I think it'll be 1-1 for Yoakum. And now a timeout. I don't know if this is a timeout or if they're just taking their time getting the replacement in for Sneed as he fouls out. Yeah, not an official timeout, I believe, but both teams went to their benches. And now Brock Yoakum is going to shoot free throws. The rest of the Tigers are going to back off into the backcourt with 3:11 left to go, and Yoakum trying to build on a 10-point lead for Republic. First one from Yoakum is up and no good. Off the front iron, and the Hawks have it. Another chance to cut into this 10-point lead. Quickly across half court is Holloway. They swing it, top of the key, and come near side to Steve Holloway again. Holloway over to Yancey. Bounce pass, drives the lane, and a timeout. No, a foul, I believe. I think they're going to call a foul on the Tigers. And that one goes against Yoakum. Yoakum now has 3 personals, and that's 4 team fouls on the Tigers. Inbounding along the baseline are the Hawks. And they go to Buchanan. Buchanan guarded by Beckemeyer. Drives baseline, picks it up, goes far side with a skip pass to Yancey. The three-pointer is no good off the back iron. And Beckemeyer with a rebound. Bounce pass to Yoakum. 2:38 left to go. Lob floater to Beckemeyer and knocked out of bounds off of Beckemeyer. And Yoakum tried to float it over the defender and just left it a little short. Beckemeyer had to jump forward along with the defender, and it ended up going out of bounds off of the Tigers. So another chance to cut into this 10-point lead. Eddie White has it, guarded by Chase Hoffman, who checks into the game. Jordan Kerr also into the game for Yoakum. Far side, three-pointer away by Steve Holloway, no good. Long rebound, out, and is going to roll out of bounds, and they're going to say it's off the Tigers. Coaching staff for Republic doesn't like that one. This is not a great three-point shooting team, and tonight is an indication of that for the Hawks. And they need some threes to get back into this. Still trailing by 10, but they got another chance. DeMarco Buchanan loses the handle. Smith on the floor with him, and a held ball is called, and possession arrow goes to the Tigers. Nice defense by Canyon Smith. Reached in, knocked the ball away, got on the floor and grabbed it. And the Tigers have it down to 2:08 left to go, leading by 10, 57-47. And Jordan Kerr to inbound. Looking, inbound to Beckemeyer, and a reaching call against the Hawks. I think it's on DeMarco Buchanan, but it could be on Yancey. He was in there too. Oh, that one's on Buchanan. That's 10 team fouls now, and that's the third personal on Buchanan. But down at the other end now, the Tigers will be shooting 2 free throws from here on out. And Beckemeyer steps to the line. First one is up and no good. Left it a little bit long, and so still a 10-point lead for the Tigers. Beckemeyer dribbles, spins, sends it, and it's good. So Beckemeyer makes the lead 11. And here come the Hawks. They give it to Eddie White, swinging around, far side to Buchanan, and then to Steve Holloway. Holloway beyond the arc, guarded by Beckemeyer, and he charges past Chase Hoffman and over Chase Hoffman, and gets called for the foul. That was a nice pass as he dished it down low, but it didn't matter because they call him for the charge. Good defense by Hoffman to be set up there, and that's 3 fouls on Holloway. Third foul on Holloway, and because that's a player control foul, no free throws here. And Jordan Kerr to inbound. Gets it to Beckemeyer. And a quick foul committed, I think, by Holloway again. And that'll be 4 on him. He reached in very quickly. 1:49 left to go. 11-point lead for the Tigers, 58-47. First one is up and good. And that's 15 points for Beckemeyer. He had 5 in the first half, 5 in the third quarter, and now 5 in the fourth quarter, and trying to build on that with his second free throw. Up, rolls around, won't go. Missed it. And it's a 12-point lead for the Tigers. The Hawks trying to find a shot, but they're just passing it around the perimeter right now. They get it to Yancey. Yancey drives baseline, hits a cutting Buchanan, who floats it up and in. Nice move by Buchanan as he cut to the bucket, found himself open, floated it in, and cuts the lead back to 10, 59-49, and a quick timeout called by the Hawks. 1:32 left to go for the Tigers. And I'll be back with more in about 30 seconds.
Hazelwood training services for Route 66 shootout are being provided by Affinity Orthopedic Sports Therapy to Affinity and beyond. For all your physical therapy and wellness needs, owners, Harold Quality, and Hartley.
Want to thank our sponsors, and you can help me out by thanking these business owners as you see them around town. I'm going to mention a few of them here. Teamwear Solutions, Family Safe Storm Shelters, Hetty Barbecue, Absolute Roofing, Ozark Screen Printing, Bow Wow Pet Resort, and Heinz Street Pharmacy, just a few of the sponsors who make this possible. Inbound play is knocked out of bounds again by the Hawks. The Tigers retain possession, and they get it inbounds to Canyon Smith. Double team, gives it up, and loses the ball, and now the Hawks have it back. Quick three-pointer is away, and no good. It's too long. Rebound to the Hawks. They dish it down low now as Holloway had it. Try to pass down low, and it goes out of bounds off the Hawks, and the Tigers have it back. Boy, if the Hawks were hitting their shots at all from outside, this would be a different story. And now Hoffman left loose. Long pass. They give it to Geiger. Lays it up and in. Hoffman and Geiger were out ahead of the defense, and Hoffman took the pass and then gave it up to Geiger. Geiger thought about dunking it, but laid it off the glass and in. And now a quick shot is wildly off the mark by the Hawks, and the rebound to the Tigers, and they'll go the other way, leading by 12, and they'll shoot free throws under a minute left to go. 57.6 left to go in the game. And that's 4 fouls now on DeMarco Buchanan. And the officials are talking about something. I don't think they're talking about somebody fouling out. No, they are talking about somebody fouling out. That's 5 on Buchanan. Scoreboard had it wrong. They had him with 4. And so the Hawks are going to take their time finding a replacement for him. Meanwhile, Hoffman standing all by his lonesome down at the free throw line at the other end, waiting to shoot free throws. More sponsors that I want to mention: 314 Designs, Mid-Missouri Bank, Federal Protection, Matsuti at Heartland Bank, Running Chicks Athletic Apparel, the Bank of Missouri, Vision Health Eye Center, Far Better Plumbing, and Chris Yoakum at State Farm Insurance. And Hoffman hits the free throws. And I guess that was, now there's been a technical call, I guess. That's why it went from 4 fouls to 5 fouls. I didn't see the technical call. But now Canyon Smith steps to the line and hits a free throw. And now another one is no good. So Smith hits 1 of 2. And it's a 15-point lead, 64-49. Not sure what the technical was, but I guess it must have been on DeMarco Buchanan, because he went from 3 fouls to 5, and now he's on the bench. And now the Tigers throw it away, and the Hawks can't save it in bounds. Boy, the Hawks can't catch a break. Jordan Kerr threw it in bounds wildly. It was going to roll out, but Eddie White tried to save it in bounds and lost the handle, and the Tigers get it back. leading by 15. Yoakum inbounds to Smith. Smith back to Yoakum. Yoakum, long pass to Hoffman under the basket. Pump fakes, nice behind the back pass. No look pass to Dylan Beckemeyer, who's open. And he puts it off the glass and in. It's back to a 17-point lead. Going the other way, blocking foul called on the Tigers. And it's going to be Steve Holloway stepping to the line to shoot free throws. Hoffman is called for the foul. That's his first. 15th foul on the Tigers. Holloway spins the ball, sends it up left-handed, and it's good. Holloway has 5 in the quarter, 9 in the game. And now checking in, well, a couple of players getting set to check in for the Hawks. I think it's Jonte Huntsman is one of them. And Jalen Johnson checking in. So Huntsman and Johnson get their first action of the day. A sophomore and a senior at 6'6" and 6'7". The lineup just got bigger for the Hawks. Next free throw is up and good by Holloway. He's got 10 now. And the Tigers will have it with 41.4 left to go. It's just a matter of playing out the string at this point and hitting some free throws for the Tigers. And I don't know if the Hawks are going to foul now or not, and they do. I don't know if that was meant to be a foul, but it was called, and Mike Glass, who just checked in for the Hawks as well, commits the foul and sends Kenyon Smith to the line. What a game for the Tigers. Really, it's been sloppy in the second half, but that first half they could not have played, I don't think, any better than they did. First free throw is up and good by Kenyon Smith. He's got 15, tries to make it 16 here. And it's good. And the Tigers lead by 17, 68-51. Koron Gooch drives from the left side, loses the handle, picked up in the lane by Huntsman, puts it in. No, that was Dobbs who picked it up and put it in. And it's down to a 15-point lead. 68-53, 15 seconds left to go. A steal now by the Hawks. They come near side, bounce it down low, and a block. As Dobbs went up for it, Geiger blocked it. And that's going to end it here. 2 seconds left. Yoakum holds on to the ball, and time has expired. And what a win for the Republic Tigers. The number 1 team in Class 4 shows that ranking is no fluke anymore. They beat Hazelwood Central out of St. Louis 68-53, really in dominating fashion. It got sort of close a couple of times, but the lead never did get down into single digits in the second half. And the Tigers lead it from start to finish. What a game for Republic as they win it 68-53. Scoring, I'm going to total it as I give it to you here for the Tigers. Cody Geiger had 21 points to lead Republic. It was 16 for Kenyon Smith and 17 for Dylan Beckemeyer. So the big three with the bulk of the scoring for the Tigers. Jordan Kerr had 3 for Republic as well. 6 for Chase Hoffman and 5 for Brock Yoakum as the Tigers win this one handily in the Route 66 shootout in Waynesville. For Hazelwood Central, DeMarco Buchanan was the leading scorer. He had 15 points, I believe, if I'm doing the math in my head correctly. Steve Holloway had 10, 5 points for Xavier Sneed, 4 each for Marcus George and Dominique Hobbs. Clifton Yancey also with 4, and Koron Gooch had 7 points for Hazelwood Central as they dropped this one to Republic 68-53. I believe it was 68-53, but they've already taken down the scoreboard, and so if I said 68-53 earlier, that is indeed what the final score was. I didn't write it down before they reset the scoreboard to 0. Great game for the Tigers. I'm going to go track down Trevor Fisher for post-game comments and shut down the broadcast, but I'll have a full story later tonight here at RepublicTigerSports.com. Thanks for listening, and be watching for the story and whatever else I can get. Post-game comments from Trevor Fisher later on tonight. So long from Waynesville.